I was told Christmas was canceled. Too expensive this year. But then I saw photos, everyone together. Matching pajamas. Even the dog got a gift. I said nothing. Until my sister sent, "You're still good for mom's rent this month, right?" I replied with, "Of course." Then pulled the payment, canceled her credit card, and left a voice note that just said, "Spend time with your real support system." The panic hit at 8:12 a.m. 34 missed calls and 15 text messages. Please respond. I was told Christmas was canceled. Just a text. No phone call, no family meeting, no discussion. Just it's too expensive this year. We're keeping it low-key. Hope you understand. That was from my mom around December 3rd. I didn't push back. I didn't even ask questions. I just responded, "All right," and went back to my day. I tried to convince myself it wasn't a big deal. Maybe they really were struggling. I had been helping them out with rent for a few months, quietly covering the shortfall they never mentioned to anyone else. My sister borrowed money from me in September and never brought it up again. So yeah, I assumed things were tight. Still, something about it felt hollow. I told myself I'd just stay in, keep it simple. I didn't even put up a tree, just a string of lights around the window, and even that felt forced. I figured I'd use the time to relax, maybe reset. I told people I was fine with it when they asked. "Just a quiet one this year," I said more than once. Christmas Eve came and went. I heated up some leftover pasta, watched Home Alone for nostalgia's sake, and scrolled on my phone more than I should have. Nobody texted. Not my sister, not my parents. I figured maybe they were doing something after all. But I let it go. Maybe it was just dinner. Maybe they were keeping it simple and didn't want to make it awkward. Then Christmas Day hit and I was just sitting there half watching TV and scrolling Instagram. I wasn't expecting anything. I was honestly just killing time. That's when I saw it. My cousin Melissa had posted a group photo. Everyone was in matching pajamas. My mom, dad, sister Melissa, her brother Jack, my aunt and uncle. The dog even had a little red and green onesie. Behind them, the Christmas tree was lit up. Piles of presents underneath. I stared at the picture, hoping I was wrong. Maybe it was from last year. But then I saw the 2024 ornament Jack was holding in a little chalkboard on the fireplace that said, "Merry Christmas 2024. They hadn't canceled Christmas. I'd been uninvited. I kept scrolling. More photos. Videos of them playing games, singing carols, my mom passing around mugs of hot chocolate. A boomerang of my sister twirling in front of the tree. Everyone was tagged. Even my dad, who doesn't use social media, had a smiling photo posted by my aunt with a Love Family Traditions caption. It wasn't just that they left me out. It's that they made a whole show of pretending I didn't exist. Not a single message. Not a single mention. I didn't call. I didn't text. I just sat there for hours thinking, trying to figure out what I did wrong. What the excuse was, why they couldn't just be honest. The day after Christmas around noon, my sister finally messaged me. "You're still paying mom for this month's rent, right?" That was it. No hello, no Merry Christmas. Just that. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I replied, "Sure." But I didn't send the money. I opened the banking app, canceled the auto payment, and blocked her card from the joint account. Then I called my mom's voicemail and left one message. "Spend time with those who really support you." At 8:12 a.m. the next day, the panic began. My phone lit up nonstop. 39 missed calls, 17 texts from my mom, my dad, my sister. The messages started with confusion, then guilt-tripping, then desperation. "Please answer. What's going on? Don't do this, David. Can we talk? I'm sorry." Okay. I didn't respond. I made breakfast, played music, and took a walk outside. Something had shifted. By noon that same day, I had a text from my cousin Jack. "Hey man, everything okay? Heard some weird stuff yesterday." I didn't answer right away. I wasn't sure what he'd been told or who he'd heard it from. But 10 minutes later, Melissa called. I picked up. She got straight to it. Said my mom told everyone I didn't want to come this year, that I decided to spend Christmas alone, that I needed space from the family, and it was too much drama to deal with. Melissa said she didn't buy it at first, But then when I didn't show and no one mentioned me the whole night, they assumed maybe I really had cut myself off. She said she asked my mom a few times where I was, and each time she got the same line. David's doing his own thing this year. He didn't want to come. So that was it. They didn't just exclude me. They rewrote the story to make it sound like I abandoned them. I didn't rant. I didn't go off. I just told her the truth. That I was told Christmas was too expensive this year. That I was never invited. That I sat alone thinking maybe I just grown apart from everyone while they were over there playing charades and pretending I didn't exist. She was quiet. Then she just said, "I'm so sorry." And I believed her. By the end of the day, Jack messaged me again. I had no idea. This is FD up. Turns out the cousins hadn't been in on it. My aunt and uncle didn't know either. My mom told them I was busy with work and traveling out of town. She lied to every single person just to keep me out of the picture. Melissa sent me a screenshot of the family group chat. Jack had called them out. Mayan had asked why no one told her I wasn't invited. My mom tried to play it off. Said I'd been distant and moody and didn't want to be part of things. I just watched it unfold. The next day, my phone lit up again, but not from the cousins. This time, it was my parents and sister. Back to their usual strategy. Fake concern. "We love you. This is just a misunderstanding. We want to fix this. You're still our son. Let's not throw away family over one mistake." I didn't answer. I wasn't done yet. My birthday was coming up in a few weeks. January 19th. I'd already booked something for myself, but now the idea started forming. Not just a trip, a statement. I changed my plans. Upgraded my ticket to Hawaii. Then I bought 3 more. 1 for Melissa, 1 for Jack, 1 for my aunt. I sent them each a message. "Want to celebrate my birthday in the sun? My treat. I think we deserve something better this year." They all said yes immediately. I told them one condition. Don't mention it to my parents until the day before we fly out. Melissa asked if I was sure. I said I'd never been more sure of anything in my life. This was going to be the beginning of something new and it was going to leave a mark. I waited until January 17th, 2 days before my birthday, before setting the final part in motion. That morning, I sent a message to Melissa. Ready to let them know? She called me instead of texting. She wanted to be sure. "You really want me to tell them we're flying out with you?" "Yep," I said. "But don't rub it in. Just be casual. Honest." She got it. She said she'd do it after lunch. I went for a walk after that. I didn't want to be glued to my phone watching it unfold. But by the time I came back, there were already 3 missed calls from Melissa and 1 word in our chat. Wow. She sent screenshots from the group chat she was in with my mom, dad, and sister. First, just a simple message. "Hey, just a heads up. Jack and Rachel and I are flying out to Hawaii with David for his birthday. He invited us a while back. Super excited. Should be a great trip. Nothing mean, nothing dramatic." The first reply came from my sister. "Wait, what?" Then my mom. "He didn't say anything to us. When did he plan this?" Melissa answered calmly. "He booked it after Christmas. It's just a little getaway for his birthday. He wanted to do something different this year." Then came the shift. We could have gone too. Why didn't he tell us? We've never missed one of his birthdays. This seems a little cold, honestly. Then my dad chimed in. "We can still come. We'll book a flight today." Melissa told me they started spiraling after that, asking what hotel we were staying at, what airline, what the schedule was, all the questions they never cared about when it was just me sitting alone in my apartment on Christmas. Later that evening, I got a message from my mom. "We'd love to come to Hawaii too. It's been too long since we had a real family vacation. Let us know what the details are. We'll make it work." Then from my sister. "So cool that you invited them. We're all good now, right?" They still didn't get it. I typed the reply slowly. No emotion, just the truth. "It was expensive to buy tickets for you. Bye." And I left it at that. The next morning, we flew out. Me, Melissa, Jack, and Aunt Rachel. The 4 of us all in line at the airport like we've done this 100 times. Melissa bought matching Hawaiian shirts as a joke. Jack brought a disposable camera. My aunt brought a beach hat the size of a table. I laughed more on that flight than I had in months. The resort was right on the beach. Rooms with balconies, ocean air, actual peace, the kind where you realize how tense you've been for so long without even knowing it. We didn't talk much about Christmas. When we did, it was just little things. Melissa said she couldn't believe how they spun the whole story to make it seem like I ghosted them. Jack said it all made sense now. The weird vibe at Christmas, the way no one mentioned my name even once. My birthday came and went with no stress, no forced smiles, no weird energy. We hiked to a waterfall, had dinner on the beach. Jack toasted with a drink he couldn't even pronounce. Melissa gave me a tiny jar of sand she scooped from the beach that morning. It was perfect. Back home, my parents tried again. They must have seen the photos. Melissa posted a group shot. All of us in our Hawaiian shirts under a sign that said, "Birthday Bash." I didn't even post anything until the last day. Just one photo of me standing on the rocks with waves crashing behind me. Caption: Not all family is chosen. Some just show up. The next few days were quiet. Then the guilt machine started back up. A voicemail from my mom. "David, please. We made a mistake, but this isn't the way to handle it." A message from my sister. "You're being kind of dramatic." Even my dad sent a long email about how he missed me and how family isn't perfect, but it's all we've got. I didn't respond. I'd already said goodbye. What they didn't know was that the cousins weren't just a vacation crew. We've been talking every day since group chat, sharing stupid memes, planning another trip. For the first time, I felt like I was in a family that didn't take me for granted. And the silence, that was the best gift of all. When we landed back home, it was cold and gray. January always hits hard after a trip like that. But this time, I didn't care. I had something new in me, something settled. Like I finally closed the door that should have been shut years ago. The first 3 days back were peaceful. No calls, no texts. I guess they were regrouping or maybe just pretending they didn't care. It was funny how fast they switched gears. Then came the posts. My mom uploaded a picture of her and my dad sitting at the kitchen table with some wine. Captioned, "Stations are the best vacations." A few hours later, my sister posted a story of her eating ice cream on the couch. Chill vibes at home. Expensive flights. I didn't even flinch. It was all so transparent. By the weekend, the tone changed again. My mom texted me, "Hope you had a nice birthday. We thought of you." Then my sister added, "Let's put all this behind us. We're still family." And by Monday morning, they gave up the act entirely. "David, we need to talk. Things are tight right now." It was like nothing ever happened. Like I was just supposed to slide back into my old role. Fixer, provider, dependable David, who kept the lights on and the fridge full while they played Happy Family without me. I didn't answer for a couple of days. Then I wired them $1,000 one last time. No explanation, no call, just the money. An hour later, I got 5 messages in a row from my mom. "Thank you so much. You don't know how much this helps. We're really grateful. You're such a good son. We're lucky to have you." I didn't say anything back. I knew what was coming next. A week passed. Then they started trying again. "We're out of groceries. Could use some help this month. Just until things stabilize." But every time they reached out, I said no. Not rudely, just clearly. "No, not this time. I can't do that. Hope you figure it out." At first, they tried guilt again, then anger, then silence, then guilt again. Eventually, they stopped trying. That was when I knew the revenge was complete. Not because I hurt them, not because I wanted to see them struggle, but because they finally understood that I wasn't theirs to manipulate anymore. That $1,000 bought me peace. Clean break. No more pretending. No more showing up for people who only remember you when you're useful. Now I wake up without wondering if I'm being used. I see my cousins more often. We've got a trip planned for spring somewhere quiet. Maybe the mountains this time and Christmas. Well, I've already decided next year I'm gonna cook, invite the cousins, light a fire, watch a movie. No matching pajamas, no fake smiles, just real people. The ones who showed up. By February, things had gone quiet. No more requests, no more apologies. It was like they'd finally accepted that the money wasn't coming, that I wasn't coming. And it felt surreal. I started to enjoy the stillness. I didn't realize how loud they'd been in my life until they weren't. I'd wake up and there wouldn't be some minor crisis waiting in my inbox. No passive-aggressive messages from my sister. No pity traps from my mom. But peace always invites curiosity. Around the second week of March, Melissa called me out of the blue. "You haven't checked your mom's Facebook, have you?" I hadn't. I stopped following most of them after the Hawaii trip, but she sounded off, so I looked. My mom had made a public post. Classic her. A long dramatic paragraph about losing touch with a loved one. How life's too short for grudges. And how she still prays for him every night. It had the usual comments from church friends and cousins we barely talked to, all offering hugs, prayers, sympathy. But what caught my attention was the comment from someone named Craig. Maybe he's just tired of being used. Melissa saw it too. Who is that? I didn't know, but I clicked his profile. We had one mutual friend, my dad. It was a coworker or maybe someone from the bar my dad used to go to. Either way, it wasn't someone meant to be involved in family drama. So how did he know? That got me thinking. Maybe someone had said something. Maybe people started piecing things together. Or maybe my dad let something slip. 2 days later, I got a message from Jack. Just saw Aunt Karen at the store. She looked weird. Said she didn't think you'd still be mad. Then said something about keeping things in the family. You know anything about that? That phrase stuck with me. Keeping things in the family. I started wondering what exactly they told everyone else. Not just the cousins, but the outer circle, the ones who heard through whispers, family barbecues, awkward reunions. So I started asking around just casually. Couple messages. A few questions slipped into conversations and it started coming out. Apparently, my mom had told people I was going through something emotional that I'd pulled away, cut them off without warning, that they were heartbroken, but trying to give me space. My dad even told someone I'd been having a hard time with relationships and was isolating. They made me sound unstable, like I was the one who broke, like they were just loving parents trying to hold it all together. It didn't make me angry. It just made me sharp because I knew what was next. They weren't done. They were just regrouping, planning a new version of the story where they got to be the victims. Where I'd come crawling back and they could act like they took the high road. They thought I was still playing the same game. What they didn't know was that I wasn't playing anymore. And the last move was mine. By April, the silence was broken. Not by a call, not by a message, but by an envelope. I got home from work one Friday and there it was in my mailbox. Handwritten, no return address. The handwriting was my mom's. Inside was a folded letter, 2 pages. I almost threw it away without reading it. But I didn't. I stood there by the door and read every word. It was a carefully crafted apology, the kind that uses a lot of "I'm sorry you felt" instead of "I'm sorry I did." She said they miss me. That family should always find its way back to each other. That maybe they made mistakes, but they never stopped loving me. At the bottom was a line underlined twice. We all need each other. Don't forget who was there for you before you had anything. That was it. That one sentence flipped the switch because I remembered exactly who was there. I remembered when I was the one who couldn't pay rent my last year of college. My mom refused to help. Said it would set a bad precedent. I remembered how I fixed my dad's car with my savings 2 years ago, so he wouldn't lose his job and he never paid me back. I remembered how they ghosted me the year I spent Christmas in the hospital recovering from surgery. But I also remembered who did show up. Melissa with soup and a phone charger. Jack who sat in the hospital waiting room 6 hours just because. And Rachel who checked on me every single day like clockwork. They weren't my backup family. They were my family. And so I made a decision. That weekend I hosted a dinner at my place. Just the cousins and my aunt. We cooked, laughed, shared stories. I gave Jack an old record player I'd fixed up. Melissa brought a ridiculous cake shaped like a pineapple. And Rachel brought a binder of vacation photos from Hawaii. I asked them all a favor. Next time my mom or dad reaches out, just tell them we're doing fine and that I said thank you for the letter. They agreed. No drama, just facts. A week later, my sister texted me again. Mom says, "You're doing great. She's glad things are normal now. She wants to know if you can help with the insurance payment. Says she's really struggling." I replied, "I can't." Then I sent a second message. The last I'd ever sent to her. Tell Mom I already gave what I could. $1,000 bought me closure. She didn't respond. No one did. And that was the end of it. They stopped asking. They stopped spinning stories. Maybe because they realized the game was over. Or maybe because the people they used to manipulate started seeing through the script. Sometimes peace doesn't come wrapped in a happy reunion or a soft moment of understanding. Sometimes peace comes when you walk away and no one follows. And that's exactly what I got. Checkmate. So I thought everything was finally behind me. I had no contact with my parents or sister. The cousins and I were closer than ever. And for the first time in years, my life actually felt like mine. Then last Thursday, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was a local area code, so I answered. It was my parents' neighbor, Mr. Hodges. I hadn't spoken to him in at least 2 years. Hey, David. Sorry to bother you. Just wanted to check. Are your parents okay? Haven't seen them around much. And there's been a moving truck outside for 2 days. I had no idea what he was talking about. So I asked what he meant. Looks like they're packing up. Thought maybe you were helping them move or something. I told him I wasn't. He just said, huh, and apologized for the confusion. Then he hung up. I sat there for a few minutes confused. Then I pulled up the real estate listings for their area just out of curiosity, and there it was. Their house was listed for sale. Not just listed, it was already marked pending. No one had told me. Not a word. I wasn't angry. More curious than anything. I didn't even know they were thinking of moving. But what really got me, the listing photos. I clicked through them just to see the inside. And right there on the living room wall was a huge framed photo from a family Christmas from 4 years ago. I was in it front and center, smiling. The description underneath the listing even said, cherished by the same family for decades, full of love, tradition, and family memories. I laughed out loud. The same family that tried to erase me a few months ago was now using my face to help sell the idea of their perfect family home. I didn't say anything to them. I sent the listing to Jack and he sent back. Didn't know you were a real estate prop. Melissa joked. Do we get royalties? Here's the twist, though. 2 days later, I got an email from a law office. Not from my parents, not from their realtor, from a lawyer. They listed me as a reference for the buyer. Yep. Apparently, they were trying to convince the new owners they were selling due to downsizing for retirement and wanted a family connection to vouch for the neighborhood. So they dropped my name. I didn't reply to the email. Instead, I called the office and politely asked to be removed from any involvement. The assistant seemed confused, but said she'd make the note. It's been quiet again since then. No new messages, no explanations. I don't know where they're moving. I don't know why. Maybe money finally caught up to them. Maybe the web of stories started to unravel. But here's the unexpected part. I feel nothing. No satisfaction. No bitterness. Just a kind of peace I didn't think I'd reach. They're moving on. And so am I. Only difference is I'm not pretending.